This is Paul. It's about 10 a.m. I'm just sitting here wondering why it is that I haven't gotten a phone call. But I thought I should make a few videos this morning. It seems that those in office are just too old. When I think about the age, the actual age of every person that's been elected or appointed to office, they must be in their 60s or their 70s or quite possibly their 80s. Because, let's say you're sitting here, it's August, it's a beautiful day, and I'm wanting to know why it is that you don't enforce the civil rights of American citizens, and you don't seem to have your memories from about the time of the age of 4 to 25 years old. Ooch. Now, I know you can't remember, what it was to be young in the middle of the summer, thinking about all the good things you could be doing, but as those that are in law enforcement, you're too fucking old. Now, it could be that you don't understand civil rights. Pooch. Let's say I wasn't a 48-year-old man. I was a 23-year-old man, and I had the same name, and it was 25 years ago. Poe. Now, 25 years ago, if you had issued a court order without any due process to the respondent, regardless if we had children or not, yes, or you didn't have the actual signature of the petitioner, Pooch, I'd be concerned that you don't really understand the requirements of the law. Now, what happened was I was sitting here, yes, and you see that right there? Yeah. That looks like tie-dye, Pooch, but it's not. It happens to be a condiment of a cheeseburger that I just ate because somebody gave me a cheeseburger. But for a lot of young people, 15 to 25 years old, they go to these Lollapaloozas. Yes. These music festivals, and they like to just kind of rave during the whole thing, and then they got that gorge over there. Yes. What a beautiful weekend to have a music festival. Now, you thought that you could violate my rights because I'm 48, but can you do that to a 20-year-old? Well, some people do get married in their early 20s, approach. And I just wondered, as we go through the protection orders today, could you get me the actual fucking age? Now, I've got the feeling that those in law enforcement think that because I'm almost 50 years old, I look the way that I do, Pooch. And they're thinking to themselves, this is a full-grown, matured, almost middle-aged man that they can fuck over. But I'm going to need to know all the music festivals for this month and the cell phone numbers of all of those that are there. Tomorrowland, Pooch. About 5 years ago, it seemed that those that were in the tie-dye hippie generation were going to control the population, and it might be that Judge Porter remembers what it was like to be 20. Pow! Or maybe Judge Landis. What were you doing in your early 20s, Judge Landis? Or did you give your memories to your dog? Ooch. Now, I know you wouldn't discriminate because of age. I mean, 48 years old. Everybody tells me I should get a fucking job. Isn't that something you say to a 20-year-old? Why don't you get me the tickets to all of the festivals that are happening this month and the actual cell phone numbers? Because I'm thinking that judges, if they saw a 20-year-old in their court, they look at them different than a 48-year-old. And when I had documented fraud on the court, fraud of the state, fraud of the United States, fraud of the corporations, and then there's that fraud of the independent agencies. I'm just wondering, do you have any memories from when you were 20 years old? Because I was never a hippie. Isn't that weird? Pooch. I never was. I did smoke marijuana, yes. But I was not one of those that really thought it was so groovy living in the fucking 60s.